Good morning, honorable ministers and all friends in the room. Congratulations, the ministry and the mission for thinking of initiating this conclave, which couldn't have come one day later. It's important and it's urgent. Okay, I think the title of my presentation says it all. It may sound like a bit of counterpoint. It is not actually. We Whenever there is a problem of waste management, immediately the eye goes on the policy and the regulators. Fair enough. It's important to put the blame where it lies mostly. But I think the largest elephant in the largest open space are the people, us. Nothing can happen, nothing can move if people don't touch and feel and they don't act. Supreme Court recently, last week, ordered that told the regulators bring me an action plan on pollution control. I would talk about what is the People's Charter. Perhaps the court should have asked for it. So the culture, the behavior of waste management over overall cleanliness, that's most important for any circularity practices. Do we reduce, reuse, recycle, or do we dump, reduce, and reuse by saying these are impractical Gandhian ideals? Recycle we must. We have been talking about recycling for the last 2 days and today much more. But do we, as a people, the mission director was mentioning about 300 million, 400 million. We are going to, by the time of 100 years, we are going to be the double of it. Are these people reducing, reusing, recycling? Prime Minister has launched lifestyle for environment. It's picking up in other countries. There is scientific evidence of how much CO2 emission it saves towards net zero. But are we, the urban population, are we doing lifestyle for environment ourselves? We have Prime Minister, Honorable Mr. Narendra Modi, who has been talking about all the places of faith and pilgrimage, how they have been infested with dirt which is not clear. He has expressed anxiety. And we have Minister Mr. Sarma from Uttar Pradesh. He knows how in Mahakumbh it was handled, how in Amarnath it is handled. It's a story. Ambaji was mentioned by Arun, the commissioner from Surat. So, if people who have the footfall, if they decide it can be a clean and glorious trail, otherwise it can be a dirty trail. Even in Mann Ki Baat, Prime Minister mentioned in Bangalore, some engineer and friends, they have cleaned up wells, they have cleaned up the surrounding, they did it. So, it is a determined and awake community who are the surest way to waste management and circularity. And that cannot be overlooked. I'll just, for example, just see the literacy among ourselves and the consciousness. I saw a great concept note on interventions that we require for waste management circularity. Regulatory fine, financial fine, infrastructure great, and digital. I did not find a social and people's intervention in that. I am a little disappointed on that, but I'm sure all of us, it's a great technical story that is going to happen. It's without technology, it cannot happen, but it's a social case as well. It is a social case as well. We have seen examples in our own little country. Green revolution, go back. Total literacy movement, go back. Voters turnout in the last 15 years of more registration and turnout with which I was involved. The Ganga cleanup and a part of us is the toilet usage in the last 10, 15 years. These have happened, these are reality and given dividends to India and to its people because people have led it. Because people have led it. I wish I had time to elaborate on this. So, in whatever we are doing, we have assembled, there are not too many asks, few asks. Do I own my city and my town as I own my home? Do I segregate whatever I create waste? I don't. Again, I am finding the littering is back compared to say many years back. We don't litter or let others litter. Do we do that? Have we given up plastic? Do we practice this simple thing of home composting? And there are a few other things which my friends who are used to how circularity is to be attained, they will mention. We don't. Adopt RRR, I just mentioned it. Adopt lifestyle. Lifestyle change for the sake of waste management or circularity or overall cleanliness or preserving the environment, that has to go together with policy. There has to be synergy. Otherwise, no. Okay. Which are the two triggers? I find that the two triggers, one is profit. Either I have a sense of profit, what I get out of it, what I act, I'm being blunt. Or I know that it's a great and feasible cause for which it is a credible cause for which I should work. I'll come to the first big thing first. We had some incentive money in the access to toilets that we worked on in the first 5-6 years of Swachh Bharat Mission. Do we have something like that in the waste management at the household level? Even the managers who worked on all, they were having the glamour of having a brand association. Brand was quite great, which Prime Minister initiated. There are recognitions, awards. Do we have that in waste management now? Or do we need to do a little more? Prime Minister, again last week, 10 days back, he mentioned about Ambikapur Municipal Corporation. If the commissioner is there, I'll need to congratulate about plastic waste being converted to a meal, breakfast or dinner or lunch. So, Arun was mentioning that some amount of penalty and disincentive might work, or at least incentives have to go up reasonably well. The talk has started that should we have soft penalties on those who litter? Do we have some charges for the ULB which are resource constrained to pick up the waste? We have to rework the incentive disincentive system. It cannot be like what it is now. So this is profit. The other thing is, people should not be left in a sense of helplessness. That's what we are. That's how it is. Like in pollution in NCR, we many times talk about, okay, we are like this. Will the garbage be picked up? Will the waste remain segregated when I segregate and give it to the municipal truck? Will the garbage be at all processed? Will there be not a heap again next door, little away? So, behavior change also doesn't come that cheap. Unless you tie up the supply ends that people have reason to believe that they are working for a cause that is credible, feasible, and is going to happen, they will not join in. So, that this is the chase of the possible, that what we are doing as a mission is possible, people must have a sense when they join. Campaign is just one part. Sometimes we overemphasize campaign. Citizen engagement is a much broader thing, which I mentioned, profit and cause. We have successful campaign because we believe in the power of the nudge. The nudge, the campaign brings people towards the center, towards the objective. We had a malaria campaign, false polio campaign, HIV AIDS, and SWEEP, systematic voters education and electoral participation, which has given results. 5-10% voting and registration have gone up. In Swachh Bharat Mission, we had children moving in processions in Bihar saying, Mujhe Shaushalay chahiye. We had a Dalberg study which says that during the Swachh Bharat Mission's initial 5 years, there was this much of exposure of eyeballs to something which was relating to Swachh Bharat. We had good turnout on Ek Ghanta Ek Saath. We had Swachhta Hi Seva campaign, but those are flash in the pan. They are great. We had achieved good numbers, but those are models which can be replicated every day and every month, every year. We had Ek Ped Maa Ki Naam. So these are campaigns which nudge people. But so the takeaway is that we cannot stop. We have to communicate, communicate, and communicate. The other thing is that we must keep the advocates glued onto us. We must have the political leadership that I think they are with us, but we must keep exciting them. One of the reasons for the success of Swachh Bharat Mission is that the Prime Minister has been the communicator in chief. In fact, in the earlier situation, when he gave a clarion call, the gas subsidy was given up. So the inspiration works because inspiration is a special nudge. PM by laying a brick and constructing a toilet, or by sitting with in Mathura with waste segregators with women to separate the plastic from non-plastic, is not going to change the world, but it is setting a path of inspiration, and that works. So we must have that always happening. Brooms in hand, getting into toilet feet and beach cleaning and plugging. These are things which are inspirational. So my suggestions are nothing much different than just perhaps intensification of few things which we know, and something which are dynamically evolved in the last 2 days. We must reward incentives, disincentives as household and other waste sources. We must make the cause credible and process efficiency must be brought in. This 72 towns is nothing. Clean cities. One indoor, everyone in India to refer to is nothing. When we have quickly 720 cities and towns in 750 districts so that people know that, okay, this can happen. We must optimize citizen engagement. Why not every day, every city that is suffering from waste mismanagement? Why cannot people work on every day? Why they have to wait for Swachh Seva? Why not every day something can happen like this? Campaigns every day, every morning. Why can't community congregate? And then we must keep our leadership glued to our agenda. We must be selfish on this particular purpose. This is our need, and we must have the leaders glued to it. Thank you.